Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk for just a few minutes about atomic structure, about how atoms are composed. Copy this chart into your notes, please. Pause the video till you're done. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about are the three subatomic particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons and neutrons are located in the nucleus, in the center of an atom. So they're often grouped together. Protons and neutrons are in the nucleus of an atom. Electrons, however, are in the electron cloud, which ought to be pretty easy to remember. Protons have a positive 1 charge. Proton, positive, remember that. They have a positive 1 charge. Electrons, however, have a negative 1 charge. So protons and electrons have opposite charges. And you know how opposites feel. Opposites attract. So protons and electrons are attracted to each other. And that's one of the properties that helps hold an atom together. Neutrons, like their name suggests, are neutral. They have no charge. It's easy to get confused sometimes and think neutron negative, but no, neutrons are neutral, electrons are negative, so make sure you keep that straight. Only two of these subatomic particles contribute to the mass of an atom, and those two are the protons and the neutrons. Now they are so small that they invented a unit to describe their mass, and that's called an atomic mass unit, or AMU. 1 AMU is the mass of a proton. The same thing for a neutron, 1 atomic mass unit. Electrons, however, are so much smaller than protons and neutrons that we call their mass negligible. Say that word, negligible. Negligible means it's so small that it doesn't really change anything. So protons and neutrons make up the entire mass of an atom, as far as we're concerned. So the mass of the atom comes from the nucleus. However, the volume of an atom comes from the electrons. Okay, from the electron cloud. Let's look at the structure of an atom right quick. We have the nucleus with your positively charged protons and your neutral neutrons. Outside of that nucleus, you have electrons with their negative charges arranged in energy levels. We'll talk later about how many each energy level can hold. For right now, you just need to know that electrons are located in energy levels in the electron cloud. Now, looking at the picture drawn this way, you might think that electrons are pretty big compared to the nucleus. That, however, is not the case. If I were to have an atom the size of a stadium, let's say the Georgia Dome, how big do you think the nucleus of that atom would be? Would it be as big as a transfer truck? No. A school bus? Mm-mm. A car? Even smaller. It would be the size of a tennis ball. So the nucleus of an atom is so small compared to the electron cloud. But the electrons are so small compared to the things that make up the nucleus. Electrons are kind of like kindergartners when you give them pixie sticks. They're tiny and they run around like crazy, and you can't really control them, and you can't predict where they're going to go next. And they take up a lot of space. Even though they're small, they're going to take up a lot of room. Those are the basics of the structure of an atom. And the next time we meet, we'll talk about how you can tell how many protons, neutrons, and electrons each atom has. So we will see you then.